Good morning. Come on in. Good afternoon, wherever it is that you are on this part of the world. It is actually Saturday afternoon right here in Brevard, North Carolina at 1 p.m. How is everyone? Here we go. Here comes my ladies. Yay. Come on in, you guys. Let's get busy. It is time. It is time. It is time. We've got all the things happening. Hi, Liz. Good to see you. Liz is in the house. Who else is here? Tracy's in the house too. Yay. Martha. Thanks for joining. Tay, happy Saturday to you. Here we all come. Happy day, guys. Happy day. So we had a great big order from our friend Rita, and I just wanted to say, Rita, thank you. I sent you a mindful mug. You didn't quite hit the 250 mark, but it was a nice order, and I just wanted to say thank you to you for looking to us for your supplement needs. I appreciate that. Hi, Jenny. She's here today. Jenny's always in the house. I appreciate Jenny. So did you guys get if you're in the Hot Milk Club or if you're in Take Back Your Life, some good stuff in there. We get Jenny sends out a fantastic newsletter every single Saturday. So make sure that you're getting those because there's valuable information telling you what's coming up, what to expect, that kind of a thing. There's Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Come on in. We have a new quote of the what? Oh dear, we don't want to do that. We have a new quote of the week. The new quote of the week has to do with gratitude, which I think is a great place to start, right? So it's Soulful Saturday. And Soulful Saturday, we do things, we just kind of deal with our beautiful selves, and we just, we are here. We are here, and we're coping. And I want to do better than just cope. That's kind of what we're all about. Hi, Phoebe. Come on in. So I've got a bunch of quick announcements for you. I'm going to just start going through them. Hi, Vanessa and Linda. Good to see you guys. Carla's here as well. Good to see you. And Debbie, I think the notification just went out. Here comes all the people. Those notifications are rough. And you guys, when you ask me, can I help you with notifications? Not really. Because I try to get them too, and I never get them. So I don't know what to say about that. Marianne, Susan, good to say. All right. So don't forget that on Fridays, every single Friday, what do? We have Q&A, and I always forget to tell you guys. So if you have a nutrition question that you want answered, all you have to do is send it into Saving Dinner, support@savingdinner.com. And in that subject line, you know what to do, right? Question for Leanne on Friday, and I will answer it. Diane, Amy, good to see you. Marianne, there's my soulful girl. Good to see you guys. We also have a ships free thing going on right now. We charge shipping. We've had to we changed that out at the beginning of this year, but we always have a product that we say free shipping for. And this week we've got 3. We've got the chocolate perfect paleo protein. We also have the unflavored that you can go either vanilla or chocolate with, and I show you how to do that. And we also have Fiber Mender 3.0. Wow, you guys, 10 grams of fiber in this monster. Yeah, and I've been doing some reading, and I'm going to do a show on this, not yet, but a show on this, on how critically important your health is and how we can set ourselves up for excellent health, immune system health, and it all starts in the gut. And I'm going to do a show on this just specifically for that. If it's something that you're interested in, I want you to come aboard. We talk about this anyway, and in the sprint, which is starting on Monday, you guys. So go to savingdinner.com and pick up the sprint. You'll see it. It's right there. Click, and you can get it. You'll get all the information about it, plus a couple of recipes if you want to do them. And it'll tell you exactly what the whole thing is about. And I don't know about you, But I have been run amok with some carbs. I need this sprint, and the sprint needs me. It's so much fun. So let's get, let's do this. This is a transformational time. What if we redeem this time instead of just waiting for the earth to open up again so we can go out and do our usual thing? We can use this time and redeem this time in a way that is full of possibilities, in a way that's transformational. You can transform your home, you can transform yourself, you can transform a new hobby, you can transform anything. How about that? What a cool thing is that? So my new quote of the week, you guys, let's give you this one first, is that the struggle ends. Oh, I'm sorry, I did it backwards again, didn't I? It says the struggle ends when the gratitude begins. I love that. This is from Neale Donald Walsh. She wrote the God Conversations with God. You remember those little books, those little cute books? But the struggle ends when the gratitude begins, because we're wrapped up in ourselves, aren't we? We're just wrapped up in all of our things. But when we start to just leave it alone for a minute and just jump into having gratitude for people, our lives, the hot water we have, the fact that we can cook a meal, all of that. When we shift that over, boy, doesn't it change our perspective. Understand perspectives can change at any time when you decide to. It's like walking outside. Mark and I, this really hit me the other day. I was standing outside looking out, and we had this pileated, beautiful woodpecker. Have you seen those guys before? They're the big old woody woodpeckers. They're about 18 inches tall. They're just absolutely glorious. And they're up here in the mountains, and they're rare otherwise. They usually aren't around, but so here they are. And I couldn't see it. I was standing right next to him and I couldn't see it. But when I moved to where he was, then I could see it. And it just kind of hit me at the time, is that there are times we can't see things because we don't stand in each other's shoes, do we? We see things from our perspective and we say, by gosh, that's what it is. And it's right. And this, that, and the other thing. And yet if we moved into somebody else's perspective and looked a little bit differently, we might see what they're seeing. And this isn't so that we can go out and proselytize the world and, change everybody. But we need to understand that just because we see things in a certain way doesn't mean that that's the way it is, by God, end of day, put a period on it and move out. It means that sometimes you have to change your perspective. You have to move over into where the other guy is and see things just a little bit differently. That's what we can do from our great big beautiful selves. Our great big beautiful selves, the heart that we have, the thing that houses our soul, the thing that houses our knowing, our intuition, and God, and all the goodness and empathy and passion and all the stuff that we have inside, deep down inside, that part has room to do that. We have room to have a bigger perspective. We have room to have eyes that are not just set on our own ways. We have the ability to do that. And we can tap into that at any time. And that is one of the reasons why today I want to talk to you about one decision. And this one decision can just change everything and create for us a path of excellence. I think that's important. So you guys know what ships free, right? I told you about the two perfect paleo proteins and our fiber mender. If you write ships free in the promo window, we take care of it for you. Shipping's on us. So take advantage of that. We have some good supplements in the store. And don't be discouraged if you see out of stock. We do have some stuff that's out of stock, but we have a lot of stuff that is in stock. We've got little bits and pieces at a time. SAME came in. We got some probiotic in. Strongly recommend a probiotic. If you don't have one, 70% of your immune system is in your gut. I've been telling you guys this for weeks. You have to tend that garden. That's what it is. There's flora in there. Let's tend our flora. We want good, healthy flora. When we have good, healthy flora, we have good, healthy gut health. When we get rid of our leaky guts, we seal the integrity of our immune systems. This is critical. You know, I read this, and Paul Palladino, if you guys are familiar with him, he's a doctor, and he was talking about we need to have a conversation about who's getting sick and who's dying right now, because it's so politically incorrect or whatever you want to say, because it's people with chronic issues, chronic things, high blood pressure, high diabetics, and people who have high weight. And it's nobody wants to really talk about that, and I get it. But this is who's getting sick and who's dying in these hospitals. And he's saying we need to have a conversation about that. Well, I want to have a conversation about it too. Not right now, not today. But I want you to think about this in terms of the sprint, because the sprint isn't just about your jeans. Because at the end of the day, I really don't care what size jeans you wear. I don't. That's up to you. But if we come at weight loss from a vanity point of view, we're never going to get to that place, because it is not about being a bikini model. It's about being the healthiest version of yourself. And in order to do that, you have to fuel yourself correctly. That means getting rid of the inflammation, the sugar, the flour, all that crap that's causing all this, that's all sold out right now. It just kills me. And we got to get rid of it. And and I understand, man. It's like, where's the comfort food? Let's bring it out. Let's have these things. These things make me feel better because this is what mom used to make. But it doesn't help. And so now it's time to say, okay, we've had our fun. We've all done it. And now it's time to clear the decks. Let's go. Let's start the sprint. It's on Monday. Just go to savingdinner.com and pick it up. It is free. Free. And we do that on purpose. We do that because I believe with my entire being that when you take care of your body, you take care of the rest of your life. And everything starts to dial in. I have seen it over and over again. I've watched, I'm looking at some of my coaching clients right now with their comments coming through. And you know what I see? I've seen their transformation. I have seen them change, not just in their weight, but I have seen them change in who they are and what they think about and what they want in their lives, because they've dropped the perfectionism and they've pursued excellence instead. And that's your one decision. Just deciding to pursue being excellent. Because when you can do that, it's just be a little bit better than you were yesterday with something else. Be one decision, one focus, because what you focus on expands. And if you decide that you want to focus on excellence, that's going to be your companion, because that's going to expand. And you're going to say, no, I'm going to do it just a little bit harder. I'm going to work out a little bit harder. I am going to make that extra effort in the kitchen. I am going to make sure that I have what I need in my house. I'm going to make a grocery list. I'm going to do whatever it is that I'm doing. It is amazing how that all works out. And I've got some things that I'm going to tell you more about, and it makes your life bloom. Speaking of which, Full Bloom is coming up. You can go to savingdinner.com/bloom. And that's our event that's happening April 18th, right here. Not right here, but we have a small room for it. And it's a virtual room. It's all 100% virtual. We've had to do this for obvious reasons, right? And it's going to be really fun. It is a workshop. It's part teaching, part workshop, part all the things. And I'm really delighted about this. I cannot wait to get you all in there. And we'll be able to see each other. The technology is really tremendous on how this is all going to work. So I cannot wait to have you guys there. Just go to savingdinner.com/bloom. This is about being in full bloom, is about living your legacy now. Stopping with this being invisible, stopping with this whole nonsense of thinking that you're just not enough or that it's too late for you, or none of that. It's understanding who you are and that you're here on a purpose, and it's time to find that. So if you're interested in that, go take a look. Just go check out the page. You can see all the stuff about it. And speaking of, it's April 4th today? Can you believe it? How are we already in April? I mean, how is April here? I thought March was the longest month of my life. It really was. With all this lockdown stuff, and now we got another month ahead of us in April doing this, and who knows, it might go for however long. But here we are in April. In April. This is the beginning of the second quarter, and now you have an opportunity to start to make some new goals. And I do this in Take Back Your Life. We have a journal. You can buy it. You'll get it downloaded, be able to download it free, or download it as many times as you want, and use these pages because they help you to set up morning and evening routines, and we call them rituals because they're the bookends of your life. And it also helps you with 90-day goals because they're doable and tenable, right? I have a lot of women using this. They use them in my programs, but you can just buy it right now and get it. And I'm going to tell you something, that being able to watch yourself progress and do these goals because they're, the timeline is reasonable. It lights you up. Talk about one focus. That gives you the focus, that gives you the oomph that you need and kind of pushes you along. One thing, just doing that one thing every day. It's amazing what happens. Go take it out, and when you sign up for it too, you also get 2 workshops that I did on this that'll teach you exactly how to use it. So that's cool. We also have now and later menus that you can get for I think it's $27. It's 40 different recipes, but the really fun part is that they do one and stick another in the freezer. And it's all raw that goes in the freezer. We show you how to put it in there so that when you pull it out, you're having a fresh cooked meal. It doesn't taste like a reheated Stouffer's thing. That's the beauty of now and later. So when you're going to the effort of making one dinner, you might as well stick another one in the fridge. If you go to savingdinner.com/now and you'll get it. All right. Now, let's get into business here. Let's get down to it. A single powerful decision is a decision on what you want overall in your life, what you are pursuing. Because oftentimes we're pursuing numbness, right? We're pursuing something that keeps us from having to look inside. And looking inside that's where your beautiful self resides. And you can't deny her. You cannot deny your soul work. You cannot deny your intuition. You cannot deny your knowing. If you want to, you can, but it leaves you in a place of incongruity for life. There's a constant pushing and pulling against what it is that you're doing and what it is that you want. And they just kind of are ships passing in the night. So if you can stop that kind of behavior and instead realign your focus, it makes all the difference in the world. Because if what we focus on expands, then we're going to be looking at things from a completely different perspective. We're going to move over just a little bit so that we can see that woodpecker. But I want you to understand one thing that's just really hit me hard this week, especially because I have been going through this whole beating myself up and like, what am I doing here? And cooking all this stuff. And well, part of it is, I am cooking all this stuff, every day at 4:00. But I have a bigger audience than just people who are eating keto or low carb or whatever. I have a bigger audience than that. And we provide everything. We always say, as far as dinner answers and as far as cooking is concerned, my only concern is that you're eating real food. I want you to eat real food. Real food is what provides you with nutrition. And backing away from all the crazy crap that's out there. Stay away from those canned soups and boxes with unknown ingredients on that you can't even pronounce, etc. If you eat real food, I've got a plan for you. That's basically what it is. But it also, we also have to give ourselves a whole big pile of grace right now, because suddenly everybody's lives completely changed in just a minute. In just a minute, it was like, this doesn't look good. This is kind of scary. You're hearing murmurings, and then all of a sudden, lockdown. Here we are in our homes. We're looking around, and some people are worried about toilet paper. Some people are hoarding toilet paper. Some people over here have everything they need. Some people over here are worried about whatever. There is concerns all around the block and worrying about loved ones and all the things that go with it. Everything changed. And because everything's changed, it doesn't stop the days from ticking off. you were out going to work and commuting and Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays you went out and did your thing with your family or whatever it is, and now it's all changed, and now you're trying to figure out how to school your kids and do all the things that you're doing, and you've got a senior at home who's not even get prom or graduation, and there goes your family vacation, the whole thing. We think about all the things, but all we've got right now is now. It's it. We can't let our focus be the things that we don't have. We have to have our focus be the things that we do have right now. It's why I say, it's life gives you lemons, make lemonade. We've heard that. But here's something that we could do. Here's something that we can concentrate. We can concentrate on being better at something that we already know how to do. In cooking, for example. In sewing, for example. In helping, for example. In doing something that's going to help us out, that's going to help our family out, that's going to reach out and do something for the community. Those are things that we can do. Even though we can't exactly leave the house and, go door to door and talk to our neighbors. But we can stop right now where we are and start with a little bit of gratitude. A little bit of gratitude. We have a roof over our heads. We have the family. We have our families around us, and that could be, it could be rough for some of you. But we have people who love and care about us. We have a whole lot where there's people who don't have anything. I think about people who are in prison. And how do you socially distance in prison? I think about people who are, stuck, like those people on cruise ships off the coast of Florida. You think about people who are in these places where they don't have choice. And it breaks my heart. But we have the place of just saying, I am here, I'm in this place, and I'm going to just start with this gratitude, because the struggle ends when the gratitude begins. And gratitude is something that's inside of our beautiful self, and it needs to be fully developed. Because when we do finally get out of here, wouldn't it be wonderful to walk out of our homes with just a completely different attitude, a completely different perspective, a completely different heart that loves everyone, that is less polarized and is less, you're blue, I'm red, you're, this religion, I'm that religion, you're black, I'm white. Wouldn't it be better if we could just all somehow get past all of that stuff? Do you think? Do you think it's possible? One thing that I really recognize, though, is that with one powerful decision, it's one heck of a long time to make that decision, and it requires it's not a long time to make the decision, but that decision requires a whole lot of cha-cha dancing. I've said this a few times before. 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, maybe sometimes. Maybe it's 10 steps forward and 4 steps back. And the person that you need to give the most gratitude to and the most love and grace to right now is yourself. Because you're not going to do this perfectly at all. You're not. Because you're human. And change is difficult. And change requires persistence. And it requires a single focus. And sometimes with all the stuff that's going around us, and especially right now, it's easy to be pulled out of it. It's so easy to be pulled out of that. But here's the good news, that if we have grace for ourselves, if we look at ourselves as people who are abundantly grateful, as people who love the people that we're with, as people who care about our communities, as people who care about ourselves, then we can go about this change knowing that there's going to be some cha-cha going on. That's just how it works. We have the carousel of crazy, and the carousel of crazy, I think, kind of applies to this right now. But I think the carousel of crazy has slowed down a little bit. And I think we need to be taking a look at just how much is on everyone's plate and how much we need to be giving ourselves just a whole heck of a lot of latitude. 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. But the whole point is that you don't quit on yourself because you're worth the effort. And effort means you're doing it excellently. Effort means you're thinking about it. And this is how we get that congruity going, you know? Because inside, when you're having that whole brain fatigue, I shared this when I did the webinar on how our brains work and how, you know, we are just exhausted from thinking about something of what we want and then doing something completely different. When we do that and we're out of congruity and we're out of alignment, then it really is exhausting. And some of us get to the place of just throwing in the towel and just saying, forget about it. I'm just going to, you know, go drowned in a sea of carbs and just mainline some sugar here, you know? But I want you to understand that it's easier than you think to pursue excellence because it's just a tiny little movement of doing one thing. So I'll give you an example. One of the things that we did, Mark and I did, was having a hard time when we were skiing. I was doing a lot of bar. I had bar classes, and I was just, you know, plowing through, and he'd have to stop, and he was getting exhausted and tired. And I just was like, gosh, you know, what's the deal? And he just did not have the strength in his thighs the way I did because I was doing all those bar classes. So I was able to go further. Well, after that, he started using his Sonicare, you know, the toothbrush, which goes for 2 minutes, and doing wall squats. And it took him a minute to build up for it, but he just stayed pretty consistent with it and doing those wall squats. And guess what? Then he was able to, then when we went skiing the next time, we both, you know, just buzzed down that hill. He didn't have to stop. He had the strength. But it was just a little bit, see how easy that was? He connected something that he was already doing with something that he needed to do in order to get excellent at a skill that he wanted. Simple. I've shared with you before a million times that I do my 4-minute exercise before I allow myself to have a cup of coffee. So I'll get it in. There are little excellent things that we can do that will help us to reach that goal. And I just want to give you this right now because I don't want you to think that it's too hard, it's too much with all this other stuff going on. I just can't. I want you to be able to still pursue excellence, but still give yourself a big, big heaping pile of grace as you go through it. And unplug from the emotion of the whole thing, that when you blow it, it needs to be a big deal, because it's not. It's part of our human expression. It's how we do things. And sure enough, if you don't quit, excellence is going to win, because excellence is always the better way. You know, it's like your workout. It's like if you plan on it and you use, like in our Take Back Your Life journal, we have those at savingdinner.com/journal. If you take them, what we do is we have you make appointments with yourself for different things, like a workout, something that you're not usually doing and something that always seems to not get done. It just makes such a difference because you view it from a different lens, different perspective, once again. And you know what the whole secret of this whole thing is? I figured it out. I'm serious. I figured it out. It's just showing up. It's just showing up. It's putting on your workout clothes. It's, you know, I'm just going to do it anyway. And you know what? Sometimes you think, oh, I just don't want to do that. Just don't want to do it. You hit the app and you start the workout and you're just doing it, you know, half-assed. You just really don't care. You don't want to do it because it's just, and then suddenly you start to get into it and you do it anyway. That's excellence right there. Showing up is excellence, and it's worth it, and you're worth it. Just show up. That's it. That's the secret sauce. And when we show up, we are saying that we're going to defy that want to just lay on the couch and, you know, eat potato chips and watch Netflix. We're saying that we're not going to do that, that we're going to instead pursue excellence. Even if we're not even fully into it, we're at least showing up. And that's huge. It isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's just a matter of switching out some of that perspective. And I want you to think about this for a minute, that when your mind is set on these things, and when you're saying, I want this, and then your mind starts to say, okay, I'll meet you halfway there, and you show up, and you just show up, then you're honoring yourself. You are. You're honoring yourself. And right then and there, that's relief. When you do this, you're being respectful to yourself. And right then and there, that's relief too. That makes you feel better about yourself. And you know what else it does? It motivates you. It gives you confidence. It elevates your self-esteem. It creates purpose in your life just by showing up. Because that's what excellence does. It shows up. Who knew? Who knew it would be that excellent, that easy? And I'm not asking you for perfection. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you to do that. But what I'm going to ask you to do, and especially on Monday, as we get ready to do the sprint, this whole sprint is going to be completely different this time. At least it is for me. It's going to be transformational. It is going to be transformational. You know, it's so funny. I've kept to my 12-hour fast, but I've also, at least, right? But I've laid off on the 16, 18-hour fast, and certainly nothing longer. But you know what? The funny thing is I've been eating 3 squares a day. Well, not quite 3, but good breakfast, and and then like a lunch or whatever. But it's as if I'm out there, swinging an axe all day and mowing down trees and working in the fields. I'm not doing anything. But I know what this is. It's our focus has so switched, and our stress is turned up. And as we get turned up like this, what do we do? What do we do? What is our behavior? We default to things that we know bring us comfort. Food, it's comfort. An extra glass of wine, comfort. We get to numb ourselves, getting on the phone and playing a game until your eyes cross. Comfort, numbing. It's avoidance. And here's the thing. Avoidance and excellence are not in the same sentence. I know and I understand because I do it too, and I want to do it. I want to avoid. I want to get to that place of numbing out. I haven't done anything just ridiculous, but I could, but I could, and I get why. But all I want you to do right now, today, is to start thinking about what your transformation is going to be like starting on Monday. Even if you don't have all the things that you need exactly for, the sprint, but go ahead and get it now so you can, get started on it. And I think about this because, and I'm going to do a Facebook Live every morning in the sprint group. So once you get your sprint, you can come on board the sprint group right here. Because I want this to be a transformational time. I want this to be the beginning of seeing things just a little bit differently. With all that we have going on, it doesn't mean that we have to fall apart. And I know a lot of us have just kind of been put together with a little bit here and a little bit there. And sometimes we feel like we're just, held together barely with Scotch tape, let alone duct tape. We're just barely feeling like we're held together. The pressure's high. There's a lot going on. But here's something that I know that's absolutely 100% it. That if we keep going in a place that we know won't serve us, by avoiding the way we feel, by avoiding the things around us that, are causing us stress or whatever, we're not going to be able to get past it. And if we can start today with just a little bit of gratitude, and you can see that in Take Back Your Life journal. You start the day every day with gratitude, every single day. But if you can start there with the gratitude and start working your way into pursuing excellence, not avoidance, but pursuing excellence and just showing up, it's going to make a difference. Your beautiful self will rejoice because you're in alignment. And that's where we need to be. When we're in alignment, all is well in our little worlds. Also, before I sign off, I just want to say to you, to all the new Dinner Answer subscribers, we've got Mary, Judy, Jana, Chris, another Judy, Veronica, Jill, Terry, and Helen. These are just a few. I'm going to name some more later. Thank you for subscribing to Dinner Answers and for supporting Saving Dinner. This is how you do it. You guys support us, and we'll support you right back every Tuesday and send you menu recipes and shopping lists, a weekly plan for exactly the way you eat. If you're interested in being a supporter of Saving Dinner, go to savingdinner.com and you'll see Dinner Answers right there on the front page. It's our pride and joy. We've worked hard on this. And now we are asking people to support us as we are going through all of this too. And your support has just meant everything to me. And we've lowered the price. We call it pandemic pricing to $7 a month. And we've been doing this for nearly 20 years. And so I want to just keep doing this. So thanks you again and again for your support. So I will see you at 4 o'clock. You know what I have at 4 o'clock? I have lentil soup that I'm making. You betcha. Lentil soup. Show up and you'll see how I do it. Peace, y'all. I appreciate you and love you. I'll see you at 4. Bye.